I'll never forget it. After the meeting, we were eating at Duckworth's in Mooresville, and my dad was like, "Oh my God, I'm in trouble. Like, I just met with a kid. He's coming up, and my daughter's gonna be in love. Like, I'm so in trouble." And so I'm like,
No
"So
way.
who's this man?" I got him to show me, and it's this Zane Smith kid. So obviously, I had the biggest crush on him for probably about a year.
Welcome to Believe in the Good with Haley Dillon, the podcast where we go beyond the track and into the lives of NASCAR wives, families, and the incredible community that keeps this sport moving. Here, we're all about the stories that fuel us, the highs, the lows, the grit, the grace, and the goodness we find along the way. So buckle up, because we're diving into real conversations, behind-the-scenes moments, and the kind of inspiration that reminds us, no matter what, there's always good to be found. So let's hit the gas and let's get into it. Okay, thank you so much for coming on. This is so fun.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I did.
You've had a very full week, right? You just
Yes.
went to a wedding.
Yes, we did. Starting from the craziness of Kansas and then going to a wedding that week, a weekday wedding. Welcome to NASCAR. That's basically what we have to do if you don't want, you either have a weekday wedding or you have this same anniversary as like everyone else in racing. So you kind of pick and choose. But luckily it worked out and we got to get away a couple days during the week. And yeah, it was a great time. It was for a couple of our best friends, the Burtons, now Burtons, Harrison and Jenna. So loved going there. Beautiful venue, beautiful wedding, beautiful day. I mean, they turned around 2 hurricanes. So that God was on their side 100%. And it turned out to be the most beautiful day. So yeah, that was so fun. And yeah, now we're podcasting it up.
So tell me a little bit about you. Just like you kind of grew up in a racing family, and tell me a little bit just about you from like 0 to 20. I mean, how old are you?
24.
24.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, born and raised, well, not raised, but born in Virginia. My family, they lived in Virginia. As you know, racing, if you want to succeed in it or, continue with it, or that's your dream, you basically have to move to North Carolina. And so my brother was, trying to make it into the sport, and we were 6, 7 years old. And so my parents were like, hey, if we're going to make this jump and try to live out this dream, let's move now before the kids get too old, make lifelong friends, let's just go ahead and make the move now. And so my parents found a house. Actually, we lived in a condo for the longest time, or like a townhouse, and we were doing the summer shootout or winter shootout at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, whatever it's called, winter and summer. And so we would go to school Monday through Friday, half day on Friday, and then drive to North Carolina, spend the weekend there, leave Sunday night, and do the same thing over and over every week. And so that's when my parents were like, okay, this is getting a bit much. If we're going to make the move, if we're going to try to live out this dream, let's just go ahead and move. And so we did that, I want to say in 2008 or 9. And so basically have been here ever since. So people are like, oh, like, where are you actually from? And I go, I'm from Virginia, but I don't really remember much about it. And, here I was raised here. And so, did that, was dancing. I grew up as a dancer, loved that. We were very separate from, like, my dad and my brother were together on the weekends, and me, my sister, and my mom were together on the weekends. It was a very hectic schedule, but we made it work. And yeah, so love dancing. That was a huge part of my life growing up, mine and my sister's life growing up. So then I got to that age where it was like 15 years old, and my whole life was dance. And so I was just like, I'm really missing out on, teenage years and spending time with friends. I mean, I was gone basically like a racing schedule, not having a normal, typical, teenage life. And so I kind of stepped back away from dancing for a little bit, started to travel with my brother. I wanted to work in racing. Like Caitlin Vincey was my idol for the longest time. And I was like, I want to be like her. And so I kind of started to learn that like PR side of it. And then throughout that is when I met Zane. And then I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't work in racing if I'm going to date someone in racing.
Yeah.
So yeah, then stopped doing that,
So
started
how
dating
old were you
Zane.
guys
So yeah,
when
I
you
mean, I
met?
was going to say, well, I'll probably have to explain the whole story on how
Explain.
we
So
met.
keep going, and then we'll
Yeah.
backtrack, and
So
you kind of
yeah,
tell me
so
the
we'll
Zane
backtrack.
story.
But so yeah, thought I was gonna, work in racing. That didn't work out. And then yeah, so where are we at in age now? Probably 15, 16 years old. I worked at a boutique. It's actually so funny because a girl that used to babysit us, her brother used to race as well, Brianna Galensky, and she started up
Oh,
a
yes.
boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, she started up a boutique, worked for her because like she was like, hey, we're hiring. And I was like, okay, 16. My parents were like, you're getting a job at 16. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And had that, mutual family friend dynamic. And so I started working for them for a couple years. And then full circle, she's like a PR rep at Spire Motorsports. And so we
Yes.
pass each other. And I'm like, life is just so weird. It's so small. And then I quit there, decided to be a nanny for a friend that was moving from Virginia to North Carolina. They needed help. And I was like, you know what? I love kids. I'll try that out. Did that
Yeah.
for a couple years. I call myself like a woman of many talents, just nothing has stuck,
Love it.
if that makes sense. So yeah, I worked at a boutique. I was a nanny. I did makeup for the longest time, did cookies for the longest time. I'm a big DIY Cricut person. So
Oh my
just nothing is
God.
stuck yet. So
You know what? That's amazing. That sounds like me in
yeah,
in a way. And I mean, I'm 33, but I'm
yeah,
like, it's amazing because by 24, I feel like I was, doing cakes,
yep.
doing all
Oh my
the.
gosh, yes, I forgot you did that too.
Yes, and it's just funny because it's like, you're a jack of all trades.
Yep. I'm like, just nothing is stuck yet. So, but hey, I love it. And,
Yeah.
someone needs some cookies, I'll make them cookies. Someone needs, something printed on their t-shirt, I can make them that. So, like I said, I like to say I can do it all.
Yes, you can. That is so cool.
But yeah, now we're here.
So did you ever go back and dance at all?
So I did, like I said, yep, danced all my life, Monday through Friday, weekends, competitions, everything from age 3 until I want to say like 15 years old. Stopped that. And then we were working out at the YMCA. And one of our old dance teachers like started up a dance studio at the YMCA. And she was like, hey, like, it's not going to be anything, super like committed, or like you don't have to be super committed. It's not going to be something, that's going to drain you. I know that's why you stepped away in the first place. Just something fun. We would love to have you back. And I was like, you know what? I'll do that. Keep up my, techniques and get an extra workout in.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a couple years. And then you graduate like dancing, they say, not really, but usually when you graduate high school or anything, you graduate dance and then you move on to college and stuff. But I had a very unique growing up, with school and everything. I went to public school from kindergarten to 6th grade. And then 7th grade, I was homeschooled until high school. So,
Oh, wow. And so how did that how did you like it? Did you enjoy being homeschooled? I
yeah.
mean,
So people are like, oh my gosh, I could never be homeschooled, but I say I didn't live a normal, middle school, high school kid's life. That was when I tried, working as my brother's PR rep. And so I was traveling with him every weekend. But yeah, I loved it. And it gave me the freedom of, you know, still doing homeschool, still being able to go to the races. And then when I did start to date Zane and get more, invested within each other, had that freedom to be with him and go to the races, unlike a normal, high school kid would.
yeah.
But yeah, so the real reason why I feel I got homeschooled is I got bullied as a kid, honestly, growing
Oh,
up.
really?
I have a mole, or my parents call it a beauty mark.
Yeah, your beauty part.
And yeah, I got bullied as a kid for that. And, people would make fun of me, and, people wouldn't hang out. I was the laugh of my school. And so I, was like, Mom, Dad, I hate school. I hate people. Like, they're bullying me. And yeah, I don't really want to do it anymore. I went to the doctors to get it removed. And they, talked me through it. They're like, hey, you probably will have a big scar there. And they honestly talked me out of it because they're like, hey, so many, women and models and everything,
Yeah.
they want beauty marks. They
Yeah.
want that, reason of why they're recognized or something. And so they really did talk me out of it. And yeah, I feel I would look and be so different if I didn't have this on my face. I feel like people in my circle in my life don't even look, they look right past it. And I have to now. But yeah, growing up, it was hard. Like I hated it. I would always try covering it up with makeup. Yeah. So
Oh my
that's pretty
gosh.
much why I woke up first day of seventh grade and I go, I'm not going. Like
Yeah.
I'm over, being bullied and I want to try this NASCAR thing. And yeah, so that's pretty much why I got homeschooled. But
Yeah.
here we are
Wow.
now.
That's amazing because it is funny. Like, I'm so glad that those doctors talked you out of that.
Yeah, my
Obviously, I'm
parents
sure.
tried too, but I
Yeah, of
obviously I was like,
course.
you guys are my parents. Like, of course you're gonna tell me I'm beautiful, or of course you're gonna say keep it. But yeah, so having the doctors really sit me down and like they're like, hey, people like would pay money to have that on their face, or they
Yeah.
draw it on to try to separate themselves from being I don't even know what model has it. Someone has it and they're like, see, like that is why she is who she is
Yeah.
because of that. And I was like, you know what? That's so true.
Yeah.
It sets me apart from anyone else, I guess. So
It
yeah.
is so true. It's like, it's funny too because now that you're older and as kids can just suck,
Oh,
kids can be
yeah.
so mean.
Kids, adults, everyone. Like
Everyone.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
It
Yeah.
doesn't stop. I
No.
actually say so, like, something my therapist always says to me when I'm, like, telling her my life problems, she's like, "Haley, the sandbox only gets bigger because like, these 7th grade bullies
Yes.
become 33-year-old bullies.
Yep.
Like, it just
Bullies.
kinda
Yep.
never
When I feel like,
stops."
yeah, in today's time, like I couldn't imagine if, going through that now. Like I thought that was worse then. Like, I mean, with social media and all these
Yeah.
people, it's just, I could only imagine having to grow up with that now. I mean, same thing with, acne. Like, I feel like it's the same way. Like, people get so bullied and, they think that, like, defines them and like, oh my God, they're looking at my acne. And, it's like only you're your biggest judge. And so that's just kind of what
It's so
I had
true.
to, yeah, I had to get over that hump of thinking, oh
Well,
my God, only people are looking, they're looking right at it, but whatever.
honestly, it's one of the things that, like, I think I think it's, like, so sexy about you.
Well,
Like,
thank you.
yeah, I think that it's hot. Like, it totally is and it's interesting because it's like a beauty they call it a beauty mark
Beauty
because it's like
mark. Yeah.
it's so unique that you
Mm-hmm.
have that. I don't know. I mean, I think it's like one of the first things that I was like, "Ooh, I like that." It's
Well, thank
cool.
you. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish the freaking sixth graders at my school thought that too, but
Well, you know
they
what?
did.
It's crazy because it's like you're better for it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there probably will be a little girl, like, maybe even listening to this that's like, "Oh my god, I have that same thing."
Yeah.
And but I'm gonna be just like her, like, I wanna be
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know? So
Yeah.
it's so
Hopefully.
yeah, I think so. It's such a beautiful thing about you and, like, such
Thank
a
you.
unique thing. But yeah, it's crazy that you were one of the things you said about, like, doing all these different things that you've done, such a jack of all trades. You were saying you did makeup for a little while.
Yes.
I wanna know
I
about that because I almost texted you before we did this, and I was gonna say, "Any chance you'd go through your makeup routine?" Like, not doing it, but,
well,
like,
here I am with
the
like nothing on.
no,
So
but you have, like, the perfect minimal makeup right now, but, like, you do always show up and you're just, like, gorgeous makeup, and I'm the kind of person that I've joked on here before, like, whether I'm going to the grocery store or a wedding, I kinda got the same
same makeup.
routine. Like, I
Yeah.
try
Well,
to just
and
do a
I
little
say, yeah, I'm either nothing or like full beat. Like this whole clean girl aesthetic. I'm like, I don't know, like bring me back to the 2016 full beat. Like that's what I know. That's what I grew up on and like what I learned as a kid. But
yeah.
yeah, makeup just started, I really loved doing it on myself and like kind of that like artistry that you got to like play around with and do different makeup looks and stuff. And it really just stuck. Like my parents and my family were like, McCall, like you're actually very good at it. Like you should try, doing other people's makeup for proms, events, weddings and stuff. And
Yeah.
so luckily I had a little sister and I would just practice on her. And I always said she had like the perfect face to like practice on. And she had the perfect nose that I could contour. I'm like, I love your nose. But anyway, so I would just like take pictures of her and I finally made like a makeup Instagram. And so a friend of mine was like, hey, it's prom. Like, can you do my makeup? And so went all out at Ulta. I was like, oh my God, okay. Like, I need the shades. Like, I need everything. Like,
Yeah.
how can I be, makeup by Mario? Like, this is my first, this is
Yeah.
my first deal and I'm trying to be makeup by Mario. And that's something I had to like get over is like comparing yourself to other makeup artists is like, okay, like this is your first gig basically. Like
Yeah.
you need to work up to that point. And so did her makeup, turned out amazing, posted it, and it just like kind of was like a domino effect of
Yeah.
one person started asking me, then two people, then three people, then four people. And so I was doing proms and then I was doing like events and then I started doing weddings from the brides to the bridesmaids to the mother of the brides
Oh my
and
gosh.
grooms. And so yeah, actually in NASCAR I've done I helped her bridesmaids.
Oh my
Whitney, and then I
gosh.
did
No way.
Mariel Swans, some of her bridesmaids. I did Marissa Briscoe, and then I was going to say, is there anyone else? But yeah, I was doing that weddings. And then it kind of got to a point of when Zane was, growing his career and everything. And I was just like, gosh, like I can't be away from the racetrack. I have this I can't not watch practice. Like that's how I'm
Yeah.
glued to my TV. Like I have such bad anxiety about everything. I have to be glued to the TV. And so I did it for a little bit of staying back home and doing because weddings and proms and every events are on the weekends.
Of
And so
course.
that's what I had to, battle is having to stay home while still doing makeup. And so finally I kind of just was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break from this, see if there's anything else that I can do instead of makeup. And then, yeah, people still continue to ask me, but I just feel like it's not fair for them because I haven't kept up with, what's popular and what's good and what, obviously I have, but not to the extent of like me wanting all that pressure to do their wedding makeup.
Right. For a whole wedding
And it
party.
was a lot of pressure because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this, woman is about to walk down the aisle, biggest day of her life. And
Yeah.
I'm such a stressor. And so the stress honestly was a lot, making sure that their wedding makeup was perfect, wasn't going to budge and
Yeah.
everything. So I did makeup for quite a bit and then stopped that probably a couple years ago. So then
Yeah.
I started doing the cookies, kind of same way, very artistic and, very
Mhm.
like fine detailing. I didn't have any of like the dehumidifiers and like there's like a thing now where you can like shine it down on the cookie and just like basically trace it. I didn't have any of that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, so that went for a little bit and people loved those except my husband, Zane. He's a very clean freak. And so our kitchen was destroyed for days and weeks. And so he kind of finally was like, all right, like this is stressing me the F out. Like, what else can we do? There has to be another profession you have.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of ended that is I was like, okay, yeah, I'm over this too. Like the mess, it's getting messy.
Yes. That's how the cakes was. I mean,
Yes.
we we have this little side sort of butler's pantry thing or whatever
Uh-huh.
that I would do. So it wouldn't be in our
The
kitchen mostly.
main.
Like I'd do the baking and then I would take
Yep.
everything over there. But it would literally like I was grateful it was kind of tucked around the corner that no one
Away.
could see
Yeah.
because it would be trashed. I mean,
Mess.
it's so much
Yes.
doing that.
Yep. Yep. It's like, honestly, I don't know how cakes were, but it was so much work and so much cleaning up and messiness for such little profit. That's
Yeah,
where Zane was like, come on, like, there has to be something else.
I
So I was like,
know.
okay.
See, for you two, I don't know, when people would come to you wanting cookies, maybe you were, like, into it, but no matter what they would wanna do, but, like, I liked making cakes the way
I would just wanna
Likes.
make really girly, really cute cakes,
Yep.
and then people would come to me and be like, "Can you make a fire truck cake for my son's birthday? Can you make, like, a Dallas Cowboys cake?" And I'm like, "I don't care about these things."
That yeah, like, I want butterflies and hearts and
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
literally.
wanna make a pretty girly cake.
Yep, mhm. Yep. So, yeah, same thing with cookies is, like, it was custom, so I would
Yeah,
have to, do what they wanted, but, yeah, I did have fun with it, girly or tractors or whatever,
yeah,
but obviously doing the girly ones were always the best.
exactly. So do you think that you would ever I mean, I know, like, you were just saying not doing the makeup, not doing the cakes as or the cookies as much because of, like, the time commitment, the weekend commitment.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wanna pay attention to Zane's racing career, and I 100% get that. I'm very that way. Like, you know, I'm in it every week
Mhm.
with him. Like, I know exactly what's going on. He
Yep.
comes home, tells me exactly what's going on behind the scenes of his career.
Yep.
But with all that being said, would you ever consider going with your dance abilities? Would you ever consider going and dancing for like the Top Cats, the honeybees?
I have thought about that, like, years ago. I feel like it would be so much fun, but again, it's that commitment, to
Yeah.
that. I don't know. I do have a couple friends now that are a honeybee and a top cat. So I feel like it would be fun to, like, see what their thoughts. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever do that now being married. I don't know if that really defines that, but I feel like if I was not in the position that I was right now, I feel like I would probably have tried out once or twice at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I say that because, like, I think that you would really, really love it, and if you could just if you committed to just doing it, like, going into it thinking, "If I make it, I'll just do 1 season just to, like,
Yeah,
get to experience that."
that experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was so fun to do
I was gonna say
honeybees.
you were a honeybee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I did honeybees for 2 seasons. It was after Ty and I were married, like, I just
Uh-huh.
always wanted to,
Yeah.
but, yeah, he was racing full time, and it was just
A lot, I'm
nuts,
sure.
and we
Yeah.
didn't get to see each other like,
Each other.
we would
Yeah.
come and go, and but then sometime like, it also worked out that I got to go to a lot of the races still, so, I mean
Yeah.
and that was honeybees, like, I think
Yeah.
Top Cats would be probably a bit less of a commitment.
Yeah.
I say that, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, "Do
Like,
I know?"
NFL is
But
probably nuts, but the
yeah.
coach that I was my coach with the honeybees is now the Top Cats coach.
Okay.
She's amazing,
Amazing. Yeah.
and so, yeah, I think
Yeah.
and I mean, I still have great connections with the honeybees too,
The
and
girls, yeah, that's
will be
very true.
it's
Yeah.
my friendships from that have been they're still just I have, like,
Yeah.
2 girls that I
I
did
mean, you grow a sisterhood you're with each other, I'm sure, what, 5, 6 days a week, practices and everything. So, yeah, I
yeah,
could understand, like, growing that sisterhood, especially being the age that you are. I mean, you're
yeah,
adults and it's not like, "Oh, I grew up dancing with her at 4 years old." Like, it's a
yes,
lot different from growing up with those types of girls or
yeah,
dancing with those girls to then, I mean, being an adult and,
yeah,
going through ups and downs and
yeah.
different journeys together. So, yeah, I bet that would be something so fun to do.
Well, and you've had the ability, like, I feel like you have such a good group of girlfriends. When I moved here, I came from Seattle and didn't know anybody, and, like,
Anybody.
it was just it was a lot, and then that was kind of finally the first thing that gave me a couple friends, like, got a couple girlfriends.
True, yeah.
And it's interesting too because now there's a whole fleet of, like, girls, you, Jenna, Marissa,
Yeah.
there's so many younger girls that, like, have kinda come in on the scene. I don't know, I guess for the first maybe 7 years or so that I was dating Ty, it was kind of like he was the youngest guy, and
Yeah.
so there were a lot of older women that I think didn't really care to be my friend,
Yes.
because 'cause they're doing their
Yes.
own thing, and it's so
Yep.
just you've got a girl group, it seems.
Yeah, no, that's been honestly one of, the best things about this racing stuff is just having, like, not even just the girls. I mean, I consider some of Zane's guy friends some of
Yeah.
my best friends.
Of course.
just because we've, spent so many years together now at this point, and we have gone from teenage to adulthood. And so we've honestly just done like so much together, ups and downs, life together. So as much as like, yeah, I have and love my girlfriends, like I love the boys just as much because they've just now turned into brothers to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just joking. Like, it's so funny having the older, group. And then now we're like that younger group. But it's like, that's going to continue to happen of
Yeah.
like waves of different like drivers coming up and then their girlfriends and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
funny because someone was like, well, do you get along with everyone? And I'm like, of course, like we
Yeah.
get along with everyone, but we do have our different groups because, we're not moms yet. We're still that 25,
Yeah.
kid age. And so, we're like, yeah, we get along, but we're on different wavelengths of life. And so yeah, that's what I feel like not makes a separation, but just they're like, yeah, well, do you hang out with
Yeah.
everyone? And we're like, not really, because we are just on different waves of life with people. So,
It's just
but
natural. You
yeah,
gravitate toward like, and then when you
yeah,
have your babies, which you guys
oh
will all
yeah,
probably then have babies at the same
yep,
time, and then that's what makes you like, then you're over there at MRO, and I'm like,
yep,
Jordan, why is this happening? And why is she doing this? So like we
doing it
were like
together. Yeah,
bonding about like the
yep,
baby stuff, and there's just so many people that are now having kids, and like
yeah,
all of our kids are at the same age. It's funny how
hmm,
MRO has blown up,
yes,
like, the amount of babies and kids that are, and I
there,
mean, it
yeah,
goes through this cycle, like, I feel like it's, like, this 10-year cycle. There's kind of, like, a lull, and then there's,
yep,
like, 9
oh
babies born.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
it's
And I'm
crazy.
sure they just love every second of it too.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get our use out of them for sure.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Hopefully,
They're the
yeah,
best.
soon, but not too soon.
I know, that's always, like, you get married, and as
Oh,
is
yeah.
everybody
Well,
on you
it's
guys?
funny because, like, we haven't gotten into that yet, Zane and I, but, I mean, we were together since I was 15 years old, and so I was like, "Oh, by the time we're married, later down the road, we'll want kids immediately." Well, then we got married and we're like, "Yeah, no, we're not ready for kids yet."
No. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, back up and tell me, so you've been together since you were 15?
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. I did
Mhm.
not realize that.
Yeah, so how we met was at the time my dad was, like, representing drivers, or he was, I don't even know what the professional name for it was. But anyway, Zane is from California. And so, like I said, to live out this racing dream, you have to move here. And so
Right.
somehow him and his family or his parents got a hold of my dad and flew out to North Carolina and set up a meeting to kind of have my dad like give him some sort of like guidance on like what team should we go with, where should we start? Legend cars, late models, like
Yeah.
kind of like give us a guidance. And so flew out to meet with my dad. And I'll never forget it. After the meeting, we were eating at Duckworth's in Mooresville. And my dad was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Like, I just met with a kid. He's coming up and my daughter's going to be in love. Like, I'm so in trouble. And so I'm like,
No
so
way.
who's this man? And I'm like 12 years old. So I'm just starting like the crazy, like boy phase, like whatever. And so I'm like, well, who is it? And I think like Instagram like had just become a thing and whatever. And so he was like, no, I can't show you. Like, I'm so in trouble. I can't show you. So obviously I got him to show me, and it's this Zane Smith kid. So obviously I had the biggest crush on him for probably about a year.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was, I think, 2013 Speed Weeks. 2013 or 2014 Speed Weeks in right before Daytona. And I like obviously knew he was there. He's racing late models, whatever. And so my brother was, I think, racing Canon, ARCA series, whatever it was at the time. And he was coming off the track. And like at that track, you have to cross, like there's no tunnel. Like the ARCA cars or Canon cars are in the infield and the late models are on the outfield. So we were waiting across the track and he was sitting there and I was like, Dad, there he is. Like, there he is. There's Zane. And so he's like, well, come on. Like, I'll introduce you. And I was like, no, like, I do not want that. No, we're not meeting him right now. Of course, Dad dragged me over there and was just like, Zane, this is McCall. McCall, this is Zane. And he was like, I'll never forget it. Your cheeks were so red. And I was like, because I was meeting like my biggest crush ever.
Oh my
And so,
god,
yeah, that
that's
was the
so
day
cute.
we met. And then that night, there's a restaurant in New Smyrna called the Treehouse or something, Treehouse,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
They
yeah.
ended up being at that same restaurant that night. So then all of us went over there and was talking to his family. And so I went to the bathroom. I had my friend with me and I went to the bathroom and I was like, okay, what do I look like? Like Zane's over there. Like it was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this what our daughter is going to be like one day if we have a
Yeah.
daughter? Like, it's so funny to see like a little crush like that I had.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, went over to his table and talked to them, whatever. So, didn't really do much, with that. Like I said, I was like 13 years old. My
Yeah.
parents were like, heck no, you're not having a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just kept within like mutual friends, like just obviously being in the sport for so long, like it's small but it's big, or it's big but it's small at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time. And so we kind of just like had all these mutual friends. And then it was the following year. So that must have been 2014, or I don't know. I'm getting my dates mixed up, but 20, now it's 2016 year. Yeah. So like a whole year or two, we were just like mutual friends,
Yeah.
whatever. My parents, like I said, no boyfriend, not doing that, whatever.
Hey parents, are you looking for high quality, faith inspired pajamas for your little ones? Let me introduce you to Holy Pals, the brand that brings comfort, quality, and faith together in the sweetest way. Holy Pals creates soft, cozy pajamas featuring beautifully designed Bible stories and characters, making bedtime not just about rest, but also about faith and family. Whether it's Noah's Ark, David and Goliath, or the Nativity, these pajamas are a perfect way to spark meaningful conversation with your kids. And not only are they adorable, but Holy Pals is committed to quality. Each pair is made with 100% premium cotton, ensuring a safe and snug fit for your little ones. So why not make bedtime a little more special? Visit holypals.com/HaleyDillon for 20% off at checkout. Holy Pals, where faith and comfort come together, one bedtime story at a time.
And so it was year 2016. We had like started to like, get more and more friendly and talk more and whatever. And then, yeah, we just like went on a date. Well, we went on a double date because my parents, again, were not allowing me to
Yeah.
go on a date with this man. And so, yeah, my cousin was in town. She would spend like a couple weeks with us in the summer. And so they said, okay, well, you're only allowed to go on this date if your cousin goes with you. And so Zane brought his best friend, Mikey. And so we all went on this double date. And pretty much ever since then, we have been glued at the hip. So,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
he took me to the Biltmore and asked me to be his girlfriend there August 31st, 2016. And we've been together ever since.
My gosh.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it went
What a
from this
place.
like manifestation. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny because so everyone like grills. I don't know if you know like the whole like lore, like drama with Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber, but they're like Hailey literally manifested Justin it. And I'm like, I respect it. Like that
Love it.
literally happened to me and Zane.
I love it.
Yeah. Might
Here
be
and,
weird, but
Haley and Justin had a baby
yeah.
and have been
Yeah.
together for
I was like, call it weird, but that's what I did. So you can manifest anything.
I love that. I had a girl on here, Shannon Evans. She was on this amazing show, Renovation Showdown on HGTV.
Uh-huh.
So good. You would love
Yeah.
it. You gotta watch it. You can, catch up on it
Yeah.
on Hulu or whatever. But she was talking to me through manifestation and,
Yeah.
practical things to do to, manifest it.
Get it?
Anyway, it's just I truly believe in it. I mean, I
Yeah.
truly it's such an
Yep.
incredible thing. Especially, your significant other really wanting to put that out there into the world and, give that to God of, this is what I want in a man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I did that with Ty. I had written it
Yep.
all down, a list of things I
Yeah.
wanted in a man, and
Yep.
here he
He's
came,
that man.
hunting me down. I was like,
Yep.
"Well,
I
here he
love
is."
that.
And,
Yep.
it's
So,
funny, did you feel like when you were so you guys started dating at 15, did you feel
mhm.
like, "This is the guy I'm gonna marry"? Did you feel like that then?
Yeah, I definitely, and so he's obviously my first boyfriend, my first kiss, my first everything. And
Yeah.
so honestly, did I think it was, oh my God, this is so, I mean, let me be real. Yeah, I wanted to marry this guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been manifesting him since I was 13 years old, but
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. And so I will say we got so lucky because, I mean, my little sister, she can't find a good guy to save her life. And I'm like, they just do not come easy nowadays. And so
Yeah.
I just feel like we were like that last bunch of like, how did I get so lucky with such a good guy so early, first try? I know that does not happen like ever nowadays. And so, yeah, it was really just like we hit it all. Like, I feel like it was started off as because we were friends for so long. And so we got to know each other like on a friend level and then best friend level and then boyfriend, girlfriend. So
Yeah.
just really just being best friends. And I feel like that's if you're best friends with your significant other, it'll carry you through anything. Yeah.
Exactly. Are you a Swiftie? Like, do
I'm
you like Taylor?
not a
Okay.
Swiftie. I will listen to her and, I love her music, but I'm not like, oh my God, I need those tickets right now. Or like, oh
No.
my God, Life of the Show Girl. At midnight, I'm listening. I'm not that much of a Justin Bieber now.
Love.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, trust
Yes.
me.
Yes. I'm
We
like,
love Justin.
yeah, I'm like, he can do no wrong because Zane will bring up, he's like, really? This is the guy you like, you obsess over? I'm like, I didn't see that. It goes over my head.
Yes. No, he's
But yeah,
amazing.
big
The
believer
reason
over
I say
here.
yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm like that I'm not that way either, but about being a Swiftie.
Yeah.
But I do the reason I said that is because like, I've listened to this album a little bit, like, I've listened to some of the songs, and in one of them, she says something like, I just want a best friend that's hot," or something like that,
Amen.
and that's what she
Yep.
got, like,
Yep.
that's how I feel, I'm like, "Thank
Oh, yeah.
God." And you're
Yes.
so right about the wave of dating, like,
Hmm.
I'm so grateful we've been together now for I think this winter it'll be 15 years
Oh,
we've been
wow.
together,
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
we started dating when we were 19, like, you're
Yeah.
15, I mean,
Hmm.
we've grown up together,
Yep.
and I feel like the people I talk to now, they're like, "How could you have done that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm so glad I don't for a
Did that.
second feel like I'm
Yep.
missing out, like,
Yep.
I'm so grateful that"
Especially nowadays. I am like, thank the Lord I am not in this scene right now because it looks hard out there.
Yeah. So let's pitch your sister for the world to know. She's single and she's how old?
20 years old.
Okay.
She's
She's
a
a
little
baby.
spitfire.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes, we
gosh.
love her. But yeah, anyone out there.
So she's 20, but she like, I want to settle down?
So she's in college. She moved to Boston for college. We always grew up down south and we're like, girl, you want to go to Boston? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Loves it there. She is like the city girl, Miss Independent, nothing like me. I freak out in this city. Like parking, walking, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm
Yeah.
freaking out. So we're total opposites. But I love that for her. She's so independent, loves the city, and thriving in Boston, thriving in college. And yeah, so love her to death. She's my built-in bestie.
Love
And
that. That's awesome.
so,
Is your brother
yes,
older?
older. Yep.
Okay. So is he
Yep. So
married or anything?
he has a girlfriend. They've been together, I want to say, for about 5, 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've
Yeah.
been together for quite a while now. Or, yeah,
Yeah.
4 or 5, something like that.
So there's 3 of you.
Yep.
That's so
3 of you,
awesome.
or 3 of us.
Yeah. I always see your dad around, and he reminds me of my dad, like and I think they talk every time they see each other, and
Yep.
they're like 2,
Don't meet a stranger with him. I'm like, I love you, Dad, but you go somewhere with him and it takes an hour to get from right here to right here because he
Yeah.
knows and will talk to anybody. But I'm like, it has gotten us to, where we are in life and stuff. And so, hey, if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. So, yeah, I
Yep.
gotta love him for it. But yeah, they're down in Florida. So the only family members that we have in North Carolina with us is Zane's parents. So that's been tough, not having your parents or siblings, around
Yeah.
anymore. And so, yeah, it's like we look forward to holidays, I guess.
I know. I feel that.
Yep.
The same sort of boat we're in, but we make it work,
Yep.
We when we do get to see each other, it's very cherished time, and, like,
Yes.
we
Because yeah,
got
it
to
does not come
FaceTime and stuff.
often. And then yeah, Zane's side of his whole family and siblings, they're still in California.
Right.
And so we rarely ever get to see them. So usually like Vegas or Phoenix races, those are like his homecoming. And so
Yeah.
luckily with San Diego next year, that will be like, I'm like, save all the pit passes and everything for that race because he will
Yes.
have his whole family there. So
Yes,
we're
it'll be
excited for San Diego, but
that's gonna
yeah.
be such a cool
Mm.
one.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that said, what is your favorite track right now?
Favorite track is honestly Watkins Glen. It
Oh,
started I don't very random.
yeah,
You probably hear Bristols or Daytonas or whatever. Yeah. So
yeah,
I went for the first time, I think, or I went a couple years ago, and for some reason, that was one of my races. I usually pick a couple races where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay home, stay with the dogs, reset,
yeah,
and whatever. And so I would always miss that one. And then I went last year and I was like, why have I always missed this race? You got hiking, you
yeah,
have just the cute little town. There's lakes, there's breweries, wineries. Like there's so much to do in Watkins Glen.
yeah.
Plus, Zane and I are Bills fans, football Bills fans,
Oh,
Buffalo.
perfect.
And all you see there is Buffalo Bills fans. And so I feel like that also like contributes into why we love that place so much. But yeah, I love Watkins Glen. And I think we've gotten lucky with the weather because I do hear it wasn't that good over the last couple years with like rain and stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, it has been absolutely beautiful. So love Watkins Glen. And then obviously Daytona, the first race of the year, like the hype is back and the fans are pumped
right.
up. It's like there is no other feeling than pulling into Daytona. And
So
so,
true.
yeah.
I love Watkins Glen too. It's
Yeah.
so pretty
Like,
up there.
yes, so pretty. And I know they moved the time date next
Yeah,
year. And so everyone's bummed out and they're like, we could get snow up there. And I'm like, dang it. Like, no, it's so nice, like up there now.
I
But
know. The schedules
yeah.
are always just like there's a constant battle, I feel like
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do it right. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
we're
I feel
always
so bad.
no matter what, we're gonna bitch about how it goes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, can do no right. I swear. I'm like, oh man, I would hate to be in charge over there.
Yeah, seriously, I wouldn't wanna have to make the schedule 'cause, I mean, the Watkins Glen's always kinda, like, around my birthday, so
Oh, that's fun.
I try to go but yeah, the hiking, that one
Yes.
beautiful.
The waterfalls and
Yeah,
everything, it's beautiful. Yeah. So I love that. And I'm like, gosh, like, why is this my favorite racetrack? It's so random, but I love it.
yeah. And then does your family live close to Daytona?
So they're on the Gulf side, so they would be closer to like Miami.
Oh, cool.
So next year with that being the finale, yeah, that'll be super fun. But yeah, so they're in like Fort Myers area. So which they are, I mean, I think it's 4 or 5 hours to Daytona. So they'll still make the drive over there, but they're
Oh,
more
definitely.
closer to Miami.
Yeah. Ooh,
But yeah.
Miami's always fun. And
Mm-hmm.
Homestead,
Yes.
I loved having Homestead be the last race of the year.
Yes. I just feel like Miami vibes, like vibes
Yeah.
are high in Miami. I mean, I've never got to experience like a finale in Miami because when Zane was in the final four for all of his truck stuff, it was always in Phoenix. So,
Yeah.
which that'll still hold a special place in our hearts. Zane winning the championship finally. Yeah, but honestly love Phoenix too. I never grew up, going or like desert style. I mean, I always grew up
Yeah.
greenery, trees. And so every time we go out there, my phone camera is just, taking pictures.
So
And
cool.
Zane grew up, on the West Coast and no trees and desert. And so he's like, this is just another race to me. And I'm like, oh my God, those brown mountains and,
I know.
whatever. But it's just
It's so
funny.
cool. Or like the second I land in Phoenix and I see a cactus, I'm like,
Yes. Yeah.
flying up to
Like it's like I'm a kid. Yeah.
every time.
Every year you see this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what do you and Zane like to do together? Like, do you guys have a show that you're super into, or do you what's
So,
your date
show
night or
Zane is such a movie show person, and I am not. I
okay.
will sit there and support him watching the show. 10 minutes into it, I am knocked out. And so that's why we just do not watch shows together because I'll be like,
Yeah.
Zane, why'd you continue that? He's like, McCall, you literally fell asleep 10 minutes into the show. Like, so that's why
Yeah.
we do not do shows together. I'll sit there and watch. And then, like I said, I'm immediately out. But no, we just moved into a new home back in May, and we say every day where we live now, it's like on vacation. And I mean, the views that we have, we love our dogs to death. They're like our children for now.
Mhm.
And so literally just like spending any second that we have to just put our phones down, take a walk, enjoy like life and, the life that we get to live and very fortunate to have. And yeah, we love fishing together. It's very weird. People
Fun.
are like, "You love fishing?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I will bait my hook. I will get that fish, take the hook out." Like we love
Fun.
fishing. Yeah, just honestly doing just like simple stuff, really.
Being outside and getting
Yeah,
to
I
set
know.
up for
Before
you.
it gets too cold outside,
I
but
know.
yeah, we really just love being outside, being together, and I would say fishing's our main thing. We love fishing.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Yep. Mhm.
That is so different and random. I mean,
Yeah.
I love fishing, but I can't remember the last time I did.
Yep. I think it's Indy. Indy has such good ponds inside of the racetrack. Or no, this one was outside of it. But my thumbs will get so wrecked because the fishing is amazing there. I mean, it's like bass fishing, but
My
and so yeah, love Indy too. I would say that's another favorite of mine. I mean, you
Yeah.
can literally eat off the ground there. It's so clean.
Oh, I
But
know. Indy's so nice, and then there's so many fun restaurants there that we always like to go to.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
The famous shrimp cocktail and
Uh-huh.
that restaurant. Yeah, we loved honestly, Zane is such a homebody, and so
Yeah.
any second that he can just be at home and just sit on his couch or sit outside and just enjoy doing nothing,
Yeah.
that's what we enjoy.
I know. And I think people don't necessarily understand. Like, I ask a lot of the girls that, but it's generally, like, the same answer in a sense,
Answer, yeah.
like, when we get the chance, because
Ants?
you know,
Yep.
Monday, they're doing all of their meetings, they're doing
Mhm.
simulators, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, they're doing
Yep.
all that. I feel like generally Thursday might be everyone's day to sorta chill, and I'm not
Yep.
saying that's everyone, like,
Yeah.
but then there we go, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Yep.
so it's like,
Boom.
it never stops, so when they
No.
come home, they
Yep.
just kinda wanna
Mhm.
do
Chill.
nothing.
Yep. Mhm.
And
So, yeah.
so do we, like, you go to a lot of the races, right?
Yes, yes. So, I have you know, not backed off of going, but I have missed more than I usually ever do. Cause like I said, but when I'm not there, oh, I have my iPad set up. I have the TV on. I have my phone, like
Yeah.
radios on. Zane's dad calls me his little engineer because I will so on the NASCAR app, it's so nice. On an iPad, you can like turn it to the side and it shows you like the last lap that he's ran, the time and like all the
Yeah.
laps. And so I will literally mark down what Zane ran and then I'll compare it to like who I think is like the best car. And then I'll just be like, okay, Zane's just as fast or Zane's a little bit slower. Like, well, like, so he's like, how's my little engineer? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? And
Yeah.
so yeah, when I'm not there, it's basically like I am there because I'm like glued to my TV. I'm like, all right, Zane, I'm gonna stay home this week. I'm gonna get some stuff done around the house. And then he gets home and he's like, so what'd you do? I'm like, nothing because I was like glued to my TV watching the races.
Oh my
So
god. I love that. I don't think people would expect that.
no. Yeah. So I just don't know if it's because like I grew up in it and it's
Yeah.
just like I guess in my blood.
Yeah, you know
But I
what's
am
happening.
very like I would say for being a girl or woman, I feel like I am very like educated about
Uh-huh.
most of the stuff. Now there is some things where I'm like, so what's that mean? But I would say I'm generally like educated on some stuff or most of the stuff. And so Zane's parents, it helps them out because they're like, all right, what we miss or what's
Yeah.
going on? What's Zane say? And oh, I can
Yeah.
word for word tell them what Zane just said. So
Oh my god.
sometimes it's a curse and a pro and a con, but that's just who I am.
No, that is who I am too.
Yeah.
I have like, you know how they talk about, like, the war room or whatever, like, back
Yes.
at home, I've got my own war room
War
because I
room.
got it on the TV, I've got the HBO Max app going, I've got my radio going, I'm, like,
Yep.
dialed in, and my parents are that way too, like, we watch every
Love
lap,
that.
we're very
Yep.
invested, and Ty always makes fun of us because there's so many races that he'll get out of the car, and we'll be like, "Oh my god." I will say to him, I'm like, "I am so exhausted watching
Yes.
you race that
He's
race."
like, "What'd you do?" I'm
I
like,
will
"I was your, like, 6th engineer. What do you mean?"
Yeah, Yeah. I'm like, don't, I mean, those guys are just lucky I don't have their phone numbers.
Yes,
Be
yes.
like,
Oh, Zane and all of his friends will grill me for it, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you just had a tough day today." I'm like, "But I did,"
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm
"No,
exhausted.
yes, I am stressed or I'm pissed."
Yeah,
And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, you just had such a long day." I'm like, "Can I not be passionate and supportive? Come on."
I know. That's a good wife.
Sometimes it's a little bit too much. I agree, but hey,
Sometimes I wish I didn't care.
yes.
I do see
As
how some of
much
the
as I
girls,
do.
or
Yes.
hear some of the girls say like, "I didn't see what was happening because I was
Yeah.
at the grocery store," or whatever, and I'm like,
Could
"What?
not be me.
No, I mean, I'm in that race car with him."
Yes. Yes. No, literally passenger princess.
Yes. So
No, same.
sometimes I'm like, "That seems really lovely to just sort
Yes,
of
I know.
not
Just
stress about
relax
it."
and enjoy it, which Zane will say. He's like, McCall, don't stress because stressing fixes nothing. He's like,
Yeah,
just enjoy this whole process because within our sport, as we know, you never know when it's could end. And so he would have to tell me and his dad, hey, just please enjoy it because, like I said, you never know when it could end. But Marissa, she's like, yeah, I drove the golf cart. We went around here and we watched it here. And, I did this, got a drink at the bar. And I'm like, that could not be me.
I know.
My eyes are glued to the S&T on the pit box and his
Yeah,
in-car and everything. But I'm
so
like,
funny.
hey, to each their own, right?
That's why, sometimes I feel like I can fully watch the race better when I'm not at the track,
The
and
track.
I'm like, "I
Yes.
wanna absorb this," you
Yes.
know?
Yep.
I
Oh,
mean, I have a
100%.
babysitter a lot of times I'll have a babysitter come and get my kid if I'm home, I'll
Yes.
have someone come and get my kids and,
Get them. Yeah.
take them to
No,
go play at the park.
honestly, I have thought about that. I have to think, okay, if I had kids right now, I could not be this invested. And so
Yeah,
I'm like, maybe that's a good thing. And that's something that will help me later down the road of not being
yeah,
so invested is because I can't sit and have my five, TV screens and iPads and phones, up on
yeah,
his stuff. But yeah, even just seeing, I mean, all of you moms doing it, I'm like, when I get home and I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm exhausted, my mind goes straight to you guys. And I'm
I
like,
know.
there are mothers that bring their children every single weekend. And I'm like, they're superwoman. They have a
Yeah,
superpower that does not get talked about. And I'm like, I just know I'm not ready for that right now. And that's okay. I'll get there at
yeah.
some point. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I applaud you guys. I have no idea how you guys do it because packing myself, I'm like, packing laundry, waking up, getting home late. And I'm like, how these moms do it, I commend you guys a million times.
It's a lot, and I think for me, I'm not, super type A, I'm type B or whatever.
Easy.
ABCD, yeah, I'm not I I don't know, I try to, get organized with them and
Yeah.
everything, but, I try to just I think the best way for me to go about it is to just kinda be chill about it because it's
Yeah.
I know that there's gonna be a million elements here that I cannot
Mhm.
control, so I'm just a little bit, type B about the whole thing, and if my kids are late to school on Monday, obviously that's
Hey.
gonna happen,
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
we're we're gonna miss a Friday, and and my kids don't have well thought out outfits, and I don't know. I mean,
Hey,
I
but we
wish
make it work.
another thing that I wish I was good at
Was
is,
doing yeah.
having my kids in cute outfits,
Yep.
Whitney's kids are so freaking cute, and she's so cute, and,
The bows
I
and yeah,
love
whatever. You're
how Blaze and Ace are always just freaking cute as a
dressed
button,
to the
and,
nines.
yes, and, I'm
And so does
obviously
Whitney. I'm like,
I
okay,
know.
how did you have time for that and your kids?
I know, right?
Superpowers, I
Yeah,
swear.
yeah, it
Which
does.
I mean yourself, you always look amazing. So
Gosh, so do you, but it's it doesn't come without concept.
yeah.
Are you like me in the fact that 5 minutes before I'm out on pit road, I'm FaceTiming my mom, "Is this cute? Does this
Yes,
make
yes.
sense?"
My parents are so we have or I have a group chat with my mom and my sister every weekend. I'm like, "How's this outfit? Is this cute? Do you like this?" And they're like, "Girl, no, yes, you look cute regardless." But they look forward to Phoenix and they dread Daytona because they know for 38 weeks They're getting a picture, 10 pictures sent.
Yeah.
What outfit do you guys like?
Yeah, I know. I'll be FaceTiming my mom and she'll like not answer. And I'm like,
You're like, oh my God.
well,
Yeah.
I guess this is the outfit. And then I'll get out to pit road and she'll be like, she'll FaceTime me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm in it.
Too late. Too late. Yeah.
And she's like, you look great.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
totally said
Literally.
that's perfect.
Yeah. But I'm like, would they ever really tell us we look ugly? Probably not. But
That's
no,
a lot of the
same
time
way.
too, when I like come into the room to tie and I'm like, this is the outfit. So
Yeah.
don't tell me.
Say anything. Yeah. Don't. Just mind your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Oh my God.
Zane's always so good. He'll never say anything regardless what I want to wear. And I will say, because like, oh, I used to treat it as like a fashion show. And I mean, that was back in ARCA. Like, you know, I feel like you can get away with dressing up nice. You know, it's the Cup Series,
Yeah.
Sunday, you know, whatever. But oh, I would dress to the nines back in ARCA days. So I look back sometimes and question, like, why did Zane never say anything to me? But hey,
I
he
see.
just let me be me, let me live, and we
Yeah.
love that.
I think the same thing. Sometimes I'll go back and look at photos and I'm like, I
What?
literally, I wore that in front of like 1,000
Yes.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was just,
Was rocking.
yeah,
Yeah.
rocking that outfit. I mean, some of the stuff,
Yeah.
especially like 15 years of fashion will
Yes.
do you dirty. I mean, I look
The
back at some of those.
evolvement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the stuff of like my Daytona 500 outfit from 2014. And I'm like, oh dear.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But,
But
you know, at the time I
we were
thought
all
it
that
was
way, right? Yeah. We
so
were all
funny.
that way. But I
Okay,
know
so
it's
I
like then
always
like
ask people,
Haley, she'll be in her like little leggings and, you know, workout tee. And I'm like, but I wish that could be me too. Like, I wish I looked that cute. And she's just like, girl, it is what it is now. And I'm like, we love that for you.
yeah, I know. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. It's so much like unneeded
Pressure.
work and pressure. And like
Yeah.
literally no one cares. It's kind of
Yeah.
back to like
No
what
one.
we
Yeah.
were first saying, like no one's paying as close attention
No.
to you
No.
as you are.
Yes, nobody, but we
Yeah.
think anyway. Yeah.
Gosh, it's so funny. Okay, so I always ask people a couple questions that are bizarre, but how many pillows do you sleep with at night? You and Zane.
I used to sleep with 0.
Like a baby.
Wondering why I have back problems maybe now. That probably is step 1. Yeah, used to be 0. Used to sleep on my side, on my stomach. Yeah, so I kind of like self-diagnosed myself with sciatica,
Oh yeah.
like where it's like the nerve basically pinching down your spine. Yeah,
Yeah.
it hurts so bad. Anyway, so I would like look up stuff and they would be like sleep elevated. Like the number one reason is sleeping on your stomach, no pillows. So now I sleep with 2. So I will put one down and then stack my, you know, my main pillow up. And so I kind of sleep at like an elevated surface. So
Yeah.
we've done that and it helps the back pain. But yeah, I hear you sleep with like a million.
I have a problem. I sleep with way too many. And it's, you know, I'd like to say that we sleep good.
Yeah.
It's probably because we sleep with too many pillows.
Pillows. Yeah.
Ty
Yeah,
and I are like
exactly.
tossing and turning all night. I mean,
Yep.
we actually last night I slept so good. And that's like
Oh,
when you
good.
do sleep good, it's like, whew, that was
Yes, thank gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, much needed.
What about Zane? What does he sleep?
He sleeps with he'll go back and forth 1 to 2, sometimes 3, like 2 on his head and then like 1 like on his side that he can like huddle it.
Yeah.
So he'll go back and forth between like 1 to 3. So yeah.
Okay, what's your like Starbucks order or coffee order from wherever?
If I'm going to like an actual coffee shop, 100% matcha all day long. Love me some matcha. Usually do it with like a pump of like vanilla or something, or like the latest, like if it's fall, like pumpkin or something. Actually,
Ooh.
my go-to has been the banana, like cold foam. So good. But if
I
I'm
just saw
going
that.
to like a Starbucks or like a chain, I will do just like usually like an iced vanilla latte. I tried the pecan crunch something yesterday from Starbucks. So good.
Ooh.
And then I did Zane makes fun of me because he's like, "What? How do they remember? It's literally an iced brown sugar shaken espresso, and then I add pumpkin." But I'm like, Zane, that's not me like adding anything to it. That like is the name, an iced brown sugar shaken espresso. But he's like, "What? How do they remember?" Because he's a black coffee, no cream, no sugar type of person, and so he just thinks like I'm like, "Oh, and that ain't even nothing compared to what." I'll look up like Starbucks orders or whatever on TikTok, and I'm like, "Pump it this, pump it that, cold foam, hold this, hold that," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"You ain't even seen nothing, brother."
I know. Oh my gosh, I recently
Yeah, I
became
was like, "What's
aware
yours?"
of I, like, recently became aware of how many calories were in the drink I was getting.
Yes. So bad.
Yeah,
So bad. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Well, then I switched to this like no sugar, zero fat, whatever creamer. And I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I drinking?" But I'm
yeah,
like, that's why I like my coffee so much from these places is because how many calories there is.
yeah. I know. I always ask people their order when, like, in general like, so you are a coffee drinker at home, though, like,
Yes,
you gotta
yeah. So
have
I also do like to make my own matcha too. So I have the whole whisk set and everything. So I prefer matcha over coffee, but I switch it up.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I have never made my own matcha, and I love it so much, so I really need to get the
Yes.
whole, like, whisk and
Yeah, my friend Jenna Burton, she loves me and her are like matcha, like that's how we bond is over our matcha love.
yeah,
And so she was like, I just cannot figure it out. Like I cannot make it as good as, the coffee shops. And I'm like, well, what the coffee shops do is they put so much sweetener in their matcha.
yeah,
And so that's what gets us. It's like when we order matcha, it's like ceremonial grade or something. Well, that's like zero sugar, zero sweetener. And so I'm like,
yeah,
that's why you think it tastes like crap is because it doesn't have all the extra stuff that the coffee shops add. So
yeah.
she's like, oh, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, they trick us to come back.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yep.
then you look up the Starbucks calories of it and
Yeah.
realize your drink is 450 calories, like I
Calories.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I would get so, like, I had a girlfriend tell me to get it this way, not realizing, like, even what I was
What
drinking.
ordering? Yeah.
But it was a matcha with strawberry cold
Cold
foam,
foam.
like, iced
Yes.
matcha latte with strawberry cold foam, but it was made with sweet cream. So, like,
Okay.
the milk was
Was
sweet cream.
sweet cream.
So when
Yes.
you do that whole situation, which, I mean, it is like a hot fudge sundae in a cup, it's
Oh,
the most delicious
amazing.
thing.
Yeah.
It's also 450 calories.
Calories. Yeah.
This is a
So,
whole meal
yep.
and
Oh,
a drink
yeah.
that I
Dessert
drank
too. Yeah.
almost by the time I got to the highway, like, 'cause
It's
you can just
gone. Yeah.
chug it.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's what I do. I'm like, "Okay, slow down, girl. Like, no one else is drinking it. Like, no
Yeah,
one's gonna steal it. Like, you can pace yourself."
that's
No,
so
I'm the
true.
same exact way. It's like, "Gosh, it's so good, but this is so bad." Like, that workout I just did, like, was half of this coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man, but we gotta
yep.
love it. That is
Mhm.
so funny. Well,
Yep.
thank you so much for coming on. This is
Yes.
so fun to talk to you, learn a little bit
Thank
about
you for having me.
your life and your story. It's so interesting, and,
I
don't be a
think, yeah.
stranger. Love to
Yes, I'm like I think I love listening to all these podcasts because as much as we have like the same exact lives, we're all so different in our
yeah.
own ways. And so it's just like the interesting facts and behind the scenes that people don't get to know about. So thank you for bringing that to life.
Yes, and I am going to have you do my makeup one day. That would be amazing.
I will. Yes.
Yes.
Take me up on it for sure.
Alright, thank you so much,
All
and
right.
we'll talk.
Yes. Bye.
Okay, bye.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I'm so grateful you spent this time with us. It means the world that you're here. And if you loved this conversation, make sure you check out the show notes for all the links and any resources we mentioned. I would love it if you followed me over on Instagram and YouTube. This is where I like to share things about my life, little tidbits about our family. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, the best way to say thank you is by sharing with a friend, leaving a review, and rating the show. It helps this conversation reach more people who believe in the good. See you next week.